Well, there are a number of stages that go in any type of criminal case, and the prosecution is led obviously by the district attorney. So the district attorney will have the preliminary hearing in front of the county judge later in August. One of the issues coming up is whether the assailant should be tried as adults or as minors. If they are tried and convicted as minors, they could get off with a very, very short sentence of a couple of years because the court loses jurisdiction over them after they turn a certain age. Our concern and our strong belief is that they ought to be treated as adults. The seriousness of the crime and the impact that this crime has had in the community and throughout the community, both the Latino community and others in Shenandoah. I believe that over a period of the last month, people have taken up the opportunity to say, we've had a tragedy, crisis situation. What can people of goodwill do within that community to bring the people together? And we've seen the start of some progress being made. The mayor has apologized for some of the comments he made early on about the case, and we have seen now a local prosecutor bringing ethnic intimidation charges. But we have to keep at it, and it is not just in Shenandoah. This type of situation, this type of sentiment goes on around the country. So we are looking on it not only as a Shenandoah issue, but as a national issue. The nation has to speak out and say enough is enough. One of the things that we're doing in Washington at MALDEF is promoting something called immigrant integration. Senator Clinton, the first bill that she has introduced after her presidential campaign is a bill with Congressman Mike Honda of Gilroy, California, a bill that will promote immigrant integration at the local level. It takes our adversaries who say Latinos or immigrants don't want to learn English and say, no, that's not the case. Immigrants want to learn English, but they need the opportunities. They need the English classes to do so. So this bill will put more money into adult English classes. We've got waiting lists of people who work late and work late at night. They want to take English classes. The classes just aren't there. They want to be part of the mainstream of our society. Second is it will provide business tax credits to those companies that provide English classes or GED, high school equivalency classes for their employees before work or after work. And third, and to something which is most important, is establishing immigrant integration councils at the local level, appointed by governors, appointed by mayors, that will bring together the key thinkers and leaders and doers, people who have an expertise and track record in education, in business, in labor, in the religious community, and organizations and individuals from across the spectrum who say, we value immigrants, we want them to succeed in this country, succeed for themselves, as well as to contribute. After all, we are an aging society, and we need replacement workers. And every time we have an educated immigrant who successfully graduates from high school, goes on into college, they are contributing to the economy, they're contributing to the society, they help those who are retiring and selling their houses. Someone who has a college degree is much more able to buy a house than someone with lesser income, lesser education. So it is in the self-interest of those who are in those communities to be able to promote this type of integration. So the federal bill, although I don't believe it does not require a federal mandate to say you ought to have these councils. Some communities do it already. The city of Indianapolis for years has had local support for immigrants, and they have some of the highest rates of naturalization anywhere in the country coming out of the Indianapolis area. But there are ways of people of goodwill who will say no to the Lou Dobbses of the world, no to the hate speech that's on radio, that's out there on the internet, and will say yes to welcoming individuals and allowing them to contribute the way that immigrants have contributed in the past. Now, ultimately what we need, of course, and only the Congress and only the President can do it, is comprehensive immigration reform. We need a system where people will be able to be here and work here legally, remain here, to be able to contribute. Now, it's a long process. We were stuck in this Congress with this administration. I'm optimistic that next year, no matter who is elected president, we'll have a stronger Congress and a stronger executive who will then be able to work together to promote comprehensive immigration reform and get it passed. Only the President, only the Congress can grant visas to individuals. Mayors can't do it. Governors can't do it. All these local anti-immigrant ordinances are just going in the wrong direction. Maybe they're doing it out of frustration, but they're going at it the wrong way. They're limiting people's rights, and they're trying to deport people out of town, over to the next town. It's simply not going to work. Even with the current administration, with its directionless enforcement policy, they just came up with a policy in August that would have people go down to the INS office in 5 cities and sign up to deport themselves. They spent a lot of money. They gave it a lot of publicity. 3 people in the country signed up for that because it was such a bad deal for them. So we have a lot of work to do at the local level, in communities, neighbor to neighbor, place to place, as well as at the federal level. MALDEF is doing it. Hispanic Media Coalition is doing it. A lot of organizations are doing it. I'm optimistic, but we have a lot of work to do.